Hi, I'm Joaquin Vargas, and today I'll tell you my story about coffee. Well, I'm a Specialty Coffee Association certified barista, and I worked 7 months as a barista in a specialty coffee shop before moving to Kansas to study. Well, let me ask you, how many people here actually like the flavor of pure coffee? I guess not many, as a lot of people just drink it as a morning routine because it's a drink that gives you energy, and they usually put a lot of stuff in it like sugar, sweeteners, caramel, half and half, or cream to make it taste like a different thing. And let me tell you that I was the same. My first experience in a specialty coffee shop was the following. I went in, I ordered espresso because it was just the cheapest thing on the menu. And when I got the espresso, this little tiny cup, I was hungry because I did not expect that, and I did not like it. I actually did not like it because it was a strong flavor, and I was not prepared for it, and it was not precisely what I wanted at the moment. So let me tell you what was my path in the world of coffee. How first I learned that there are different types of coffee, then how I learned that there are several types of preparing coffee, and finally how this developed into a passion for me and a part of my life, a big part of my life. And I hope that after this TED Talk, you will look at coffee in a different way. So, after this first experience, I thought, coffee is not for me, I do not like it. But I ended up landing my first job at this specialty coffee shop. And on my first day working there, I learned that there are several types of coffee. That was the first thing that they taught me there. And well, there are two big families on the coffee plants, Arabica and Robusta beans. That they differ mainly because Robusta is a more type of wild plant that does not require an intensive care and can grow out in the wild without any control, whereas Arabica requires a lot of care and a lot of specific conditions to grow properly and to be harvested properly. Arabica is much more used for commercial and consumption coffee as it returns a much better and much higher quality coffee than Robusta. As Robusta, as it's a wild plant and very tough, it does not return a good coffee. But in the coffee shop, I learned that within Arabica, there are six different species of coffee that are Catuai, Catura, Geisha, Típica, Bourbon, and Pacamara. That there are different species of plants of coffee. And each one of them has different scents, different flavor, and different smells, as they have different properties because each one of them requires different conditions to grow, like different type of humidity, different temperatures, the type of soil, and the height above sea level. So each coffee returns a different range of flavors and scents. For example, here I can show you that this is a geisha coffee. The geisha is known to be the best quality coffee species out there, but also the most care intensive and the most hard to cultivate as it requires a lot of care and usually dies really easily. And here I have another type of coffee that's actually a blend of Caturra and Catuai coffee. And actually, coffee harvests are ranked each year by the newspaper Coffee Review on a 100-point scale to determine the overall quality of the coffee for experimented coffee drinkers. And then the second thing that I learned on the coffee shop was that there are two big coffee preparation families. The baristas that focus on the preparation of the espresso, and the brewers that focus on brewed coffee. First, I learned about the baristas and the espresso machine. Well, the espresso is this small concentrated drink that is the base for a lot of more popular drinks that are mixed with milk, that are like lattes, cappuccinos, cortados, or macchiatos. And there are two key factors for the espresso machine: the espresso calibration and the milk frothing. The espresso calibration perhaps is the one that requires the most skill, but also is the most important one as it determines the overall flavor of your espresso. It consists of three variables that are the quantity of coffee, the time of extraction, and the grind. And as a barista, you have to start playing with these factors and these variables and taste it so you can achieve a good tasting espresso. And it's a skill that you go developing with time. But on the other hand, there's milk frothing. That's a key aspect for specialty coffee shops because it's key to develop and to prepare the most famous aspect, that is latte art. Because milk frothing is putting air into the milk. And you need to do it correctly and in the right amount because too much air into the milk will create just a foam and too little will leave it just as a liquid. milk, so you won't be able to do latte art. And that is the base, like a very basic overview of the espresso drinks. And there's the brewing that is even broader. I was impressed that because how the baristas of this shop weighed coffee before each single preparation, and it turns out that brewing coffee is requires a lot of precision. It's actually like science. I was impressed because of the whole bunch of different methods that there are for brewing coffee. There are pour-over methods like the V60, the Chemex, or the Kalita, where there's a paper filter that separates the grinded coffee with the water, and you pour over the water and it goes extracting itself. Then there are other methods like that consist of pressure, like the AeroPress or the mocha pot, that consist in pushing the water with a lot of pressure through the coffee. Then there are more traditional brewing methods like press machines like the French press, and other methods that are more strange like the siphon. This is the Japanese siphon. They consist of brewing a coffee based on a difference in pressures between water and air. And that's how it brews the coffee. It's a much more complicated process, but these are just some examples of different brewing methods that exist there out there. And I was impressed because there's a lot of science behind it. There's a thing called the ratio. That's how much water you use for how much coffee you use. I am used to using a 14-to-1 ratio where you use 14 milliliters of water for each gram of coffee and a time of extraction of about 3 to 4 minutes, as brewing coffee requires the same variables as preparing espresso drink. And that was just my first day at the coffee shop, and I was impressed because there's really a whole world behind coffee. But I became really passionate about it because I realized that coffee is a drink that you can actually enjoy a lot, and also enjoy the qualities that it has, like giving you a lot of energy or waking you up. And I would like to recommend you to try specialty coffee because it is a drink that you can actually enjoy, not just drink it for the hell of it. And also, preparing a cup of coffee, a good quality coffee, does not require you to go to a fancy coffee shop. You can do it at home, as brewers like the Chemex or the Aeropress are even cheaper than automatic brewing machines. So you can practice in your home, go testing and trying new things to see what you like and find your own taste. And this way, you can have a drink that's really good in quality and that tastes good and that has the good things that you want. And also, any coffee lover will tell you that a good cup of coffee does not need any sugar. So, also, this turns into a drink that has virtually no calories. On contrast to the popular coffee drinks like caramel macchiatos that have a lot of added sugars and fats in it that make it really unhealthy, and they do not show the real taste of coffee. So that's why I personally have more than 3 brewing methods at my own home, but unluckily I left them on Kansas, so I don't have them on me right now. But that's how I really became really passionate about coffee, and it's a really big important part of my life. And I encourage you to give it a try, as working at this place really opened the doors to a new world for me. As I hope that this talk has been a door opener for you. Thank you.